Hello everyone, my name is Pooja. Today's date is 6 April. Today's video topic name is difference between SQL and MySQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is an query language. It is not a database. MySQL is a relational database and it uses SQL query in the database. SQL is the programming language that is useful for managing our relational database. MySQL is the popular open source database. Available in the market, which is developed by MySQL AB. Next, SQL is the programming language. That's why it does not get any update. It is a command or statement. It's always being a fix and remains the same. Means SQL command or statement are the fix and it remains the same. MySQL is a software. It get the frequent updation of the current version. So latest current version is v8.0.20, which is 2 times better than the last version. Next is the SQL is used to query and operate the database. MySQL is used for data handling, storing, updating, creating, deleting the data in the tabular format. SQL, it is a query language for managing database. MySQL is the database software that uses SQL language to conduct with the database. Next, SQL requires learning language to use it efficiently. MySQL is easily used through the simple MySQL is easily used. Just download and install the MySQL and it's easily used. Next, SQL supports only a single storage engine for a different operation. MySQL supports different support engines. SQL servers are secured as no third party or outsider are allowed in the manipulation of data. MySQL is open source in a nature, so it gives the access data manipulation or modification to the user at the runtime. Means SQL does not allow the user to manipulate the data, and in a MySQL it gives the permission to user to manipulate and modify the data at the runtime. Next, SQL is available in a many different language. MySQL is available in only one language, that is English. SQL does not support any connector, whereas the MySQL supports connectors like a workbench tool for building the tools. Also it supports the many connectors. Next, SQL supports user defined functions and the XMLs. MySQL does not support any user defined function and the XMLs. Next, SQL are used in a various DBMS and RDBase. Means SQL are used in a database management system as well as relational database management system. MySQL is used in the RDBMS, in a relational database management system, for managing the relational database. Next, in SQL does not have any excellent community support. Means SQL does not have this community support, whereas the MySQL is a free for use, so that it has the rich community support. SQL is a query language. It is not a database. It's just a query language, whereas MySQL is the relational database and it uses SQL query for the database. Advantages of SQL: interactive language, SQL is the interactive language. Coding is not required in the SQL. Portability. SQL is in high speed. It is in a multiple views. Advantages of MySQL. It is in open source in nature. Data security. It is in high performance and complete the workflow in control.